Okay, so I'm in the 74 over here at Carrie's. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning. And I have to do it this early because I got other stuff I have to do. So, get over here, mess with this for a few hours. Then I got other stuff I got to go do. But anyway, I want to get my new MSD box and stuff in here. See, I had all this in order to pull timing and start retard and two-step and everything else. I had all these boxes and kind of had it ghettoed in here to where it would work. And it would pull instant timing as soon as it got to a given RPM before the boost got there. So the car's kind of, I mean, it run great, but it could be so much better. And I put a programmable 6AL box in Colton's S10, and I was in there making a timing map, and we was out there shaking it down, and I was able to find more power, like substantially. Just playing with timing curves and, you know, dropping timing at peak and then adding timing back in on the top end, just all that, which I have one of these boxes too. I've got a whole new fuel system for this thing. I've got speedo to go in it. I've got so much stuff to do to this car. And then I got really big things to do, like I got a Turbo 400 trans with a trans braking stuff that I built. Got lots of stuff to do, and I just ain't had time to do it. So I was like, man, I'm gonna go get up. I'm gonna go work on my car for a while before I gotta do everybody else's stuff. So that's what I'm doing. But anyway, I had all this right in there to do what I wanted to do, but now I've got this programmable 6AL box, 6AL2, that does everything that I wanted to do, but in one box. Plug my computer to it, I can tune it, I can set my own curve, I can do everything that I want to do, and it's got a, I think it's a map sensor, which I'm not going to use. I'm going to let the time and retard base off of RPM, not boost pressure, just so that it always is going to work, because if one of these fails, which I've talked to a few people and I've read about them, they're really good. This is a really expensive MSD unit, and they work, but if it ever fails or it ever quits, you blow your engine up. So I would rather have the RPM pulled with timing. I mean, I'd rather have the timing pulled with RPM versus boost pressure. So I know where the boost is going to come in. I know about what RPM it starts. I've monitored everything and I've recorded everything, and I know when the boost starts. I know about what RPM based off of the engine and everything else where the boost is going to be, and I know how to make the curve and all that stuff like I done on Colton's S10. Man, I'm telling you, the S10 was having a few issues and everything else. Had only 10 pounds of boost. Now we've run it as far as 18 pounds with the old combination, but this new combination, just trying to get a grasp on the tune. And you know, you can lock the distributor and all that other stuff, and that's generally what I've always done. And then we used the boost timing master to pull a few degrees when it got under boost, and it worked pretty good, but it's nothing compared to what this thing does. I mean, unbelievably awesome how good this works. And like I said, you can probably see in the video, I'll probably put a clip of it in here of me changing the curve while we're in the truck riding down the road. Now, everything's still carbureted. I will probably never get away from carburetor blow through deal, because I mean, they work fantastic. I love carburetors, I always have. But like with the LS engine, the LS platform's cool. I just like a conventional small block or a conventional big block platform to do all this with. LS, like, which I'm fixing to go in here and tune Carrie's LS for him with a laptop. Put a timing curve and put a tune and stuff in it. But it's carbureted as well. But that's what I love. I love the fact that I can set up a timing curve and have my carburetor and blow through, and like I've got wideband, I've got all that stuff, which I never used to have, but it's necessary. Now, do I always trust a wideband? Not really. I trust a plug better than I trust a wideband. A wideband will give you a good idea of what's going on, but if you pull each one of the spark plugs and read the plug, that will tell you what's happening in every cylinder, and I'm a firm believer in that. Well, I mean, it's true. That's just the facts. So that's what I do. I'll get an idea with a wideband, and I'll look with a wideband. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty close. And it's generally pretty good. Then you pull the plugs in, you look at the plugs, and the plugs will tell the tale. As far as plugs will tell the tale on the timing, plugs will tell the tale on the mixture, plugs will tell the tale on what's going on in the cylinders. Just plugs are important to read. It's going to be worth it, because what I'm fixing to do to this car, I wish I could just tell everybody, but I've got serious plans. Like, it's kind of wanted to wait to do this, but I'm running out of time, and I want to have it ready for James Morgan's race that they're doing. They're renting the track, and I want to have this thing when I go down there. And you know, like, I went 6 is pretty easy on low boost, and with the tune all out of whack. I mean, the tune was okay, it just wasn't optimum. And that's another thing I've worked on. Y'all haven't seen the videos of it, where I was tweaking my carburetor and adjusting the boost activator power valves, put boost activator power valves in it, and tweaking all that and getting the fuel curve to come in, and messing with the high-speed air bleeds and restricting them down so that I can flatten the curve and get more fuel up top instead of it running out of fuel at higher RPM. It's just, there's a lot that's went on that nobody's seen. And yeah, this car's fixing, like I said, I want to go 5s. I think I want to go mid 5s or low 5s. It's kind of what I'm shooting for. So yeah, as it sets now, it'll run a 640, 650 with the tune that's in it now, and that's super conservative. I mean, that's not pushing this little motor at all. But yeah, I just can't make no more power with the trans and stuff that's in it, and I'm limited on my fuel pump. So the best way to fix that would be put a whole new fuel system, and this is the Magna Fuel 500, capable of 2,000 horsepower. The 19246, capable of 2,000 horsepower, supporting it. I mean, look at the size of these lines. Massive. But all that's going on here. All the new MSD stuff's going on here. I might put a little bit of nitrous on it too. But y'all fixing to see some crazy stuff out of the 74. Fancy's fixing to get real fancy. But that's what I'm doing. Alright, there it is, mounted. Thing's good. Thing's tucked back. My map sensor I decided to use it. It's right there. There's the thing. I might use it, I don't know. Cool. Tucked up in there, either way. I painted that a long time ago. Let's see, that's a cat and that's a chicken. Alright, it's all in there, everything's wired. Do you know that your wastegate springs can also double as a door pusher opener? It's true. Check it out. Boing. Now all I gotta do is hook my computer to it and fire it up and set me a curve. Alright, I just tested 2-step. I got my timing curve and stuff put in there. This is just the very first one. This is just a super safe curve, which I'm going to go in and tweak and come off from the belly side of it and start coming up and ramping a little bit more timing in, depending on what the engine likes. But it's all working, so that's cool. Alright, 74 is fixing to go through some serious changes. I've upgraded the ignition system to programmable MSD. I've got timing curves and stuff in it I'm loading with the computer. Now is the fuel system. I'm fixing to go massive on the fuel system so I can go massive with something else. But I want to do the fuel system first. So all this is going to be gone. This coal's going to be gone. Fixing to start this, and I'm not going to quit till it's done. So that's what's about to happen. Going with dash 12 feed and return, massive 500 pump, the Magna Fuel 500. So we're getting ready for some serious power. All right, I cut me a big old hole for my lines and all that stuff. I can slide this forward or backwards. I'm putting it more over to this side to help compensate for the driver's weight, my weight. And then I can put all my tools and stuff here like I usually do. There's my old fuel cell. I think it's been there probably 10, 11 years. It's been a good one. All right, fuel cell's mounted. The fuel feed is run. See, it comes out there, comes down into the filter, into the massive pump, up into the next filter, all the way up to the front, to the feed and the regulator. And these are push lock. They're really good fittings, but I put a clamp on them anyway just to be safe, just for extra security. But now I got to do the return. All right, I put my little bracket to hold my filter up there, paint it black. All right, there is the feed up to the regulator, and then this top line here is the return back to the fuel cell. There's my big old massive pump. Just got to wire it in. It keeps raining on me. But it's running all the way up. I had to ignore all that. I got to fix all that. All right, there it is. Everything wired up. I'm just waiting on some zip ties. All right, there it is. All the wiring and stuff is tucked up. Nice and neat. The fuel system is on. Everything's wired. It's all in there. So all I gotta do is put fuel in it and do everything up and check it. All right, there's the regulator. And this has just got a little plug on it because I don't have a plug for that, so I put a hose clamp and a plug on that. But also had to get rid of my axial coil, put a smaller blaster coil, which I'm going to go with something different. But the whole fuel system is on there and working, so success. There you go. Get ready for bigger and better things. Okay, so this is daily life. Fix and fire up the Nova, go do some work. This is just normal everyday life. The new fuel system is working awesome. That pump it's killer. I might not be getting as good a mileage as what I had before. I might need to do a little tweaking, but I'm over here at Jerry Stewart's working on his wheelers, doing some carb work, trying to get this thing tuned and dialed in for him. Alright, we messed with the carburetors, went from 74s and 6.5 power valves to 71 and 4.5 power valves, and that cleaned up the richness and all that. It's doing a lot better. And then we got to check it, and the alternator wasn't charging, so we put an alternator on it, which sucked because you see it down in there? Oh no, you can't see it because it's hidden way down in there. So we had to jack it up and had to lay under there and fish that thing out, but got it out and got it swapped. So, and then we adjusted the shifter linkage. So this thing's like a brand new car.
EP.23 Blazer. This thing is super cool. Pulled the distributor apart, put a faster advanced curve in it, pulled the carburetor apart, jetted from 74 to 72s, went from 6.5 to 4.5 power valve in it, 30 shooter in it, cleaned everything out, fixed his battery terminals and cables and all that stuff, set the timing. The starter's a little weak, so I set the timing at 12 initial, and the total advance is about 30 degrees. With a very fast advance curve in it. Full advance comes in before 2400 RPM. Yeah, the starter is a little weak, but we'll lean in here and see if it'll start. It's up about 200 degrees from where I've been running it. We'll see what it does. I mean, it's just super snappy now. No more dead spot. Clean as could be. Awesome.
Alright, my car's been steering a little funny and acting a little stupid. I replaced all that stuff. Replaced all the steering stuff I replaced. And you know what it was? My rag joint's gone bad. And so it's got like a ½ inch or 1.5 inches of play this way, 1.5 inches of play that way. So, ordered one. This stupid thing was like 50 bucks for the rag joint, the whole thing. I was going to put a solid shaft in it. Well, a solid like knuckle deal in it. But just seemed like a pain, like nothing was going to fit right, so put another rag joint back in it and that should fix everything. But these things suck to get to. I don't know how somebody would get to one without having to tilt front end. It'd be awful. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to swap that out. Alright, for somebody out there in the world that wants to do this, you got to pull the whole steering column out. Either that or pull the steering box off. I'm not pulling the steering box off, so I have to basically pull the whole column out. But I think I can get it out now, so pretty done. Alright, all fixed. Alright, Chris got the 388 down in the Chevelle. Looks good. He clear coated this thing. Looks good like that. Come out here, it was acting stupid. It was vacuum leaking and doing all kinds of stuff, and the base plate and all that stuff just wasn't sealing right for some reason. Either that or that hose in the back. Anyway, I gave it a lot more fuel and that cleaned it up. And so I went bigger on the jet, and I went 75/84s on this combination, 6.5 power valve, 0.055 power valve restrictor circuit, and it's much happier. Spin it over. Sucker's snappy for that little cam in it.
Guess I need to pull it in gear. Alright, I was shaking it down, and combination of the 308 gear, the tie converter, and the radials on the back, man, this thing just wants to stick and go. It don't want to spin. Had street tires on, it'd be a different story, but at the end of the day, that's just too much carburetor. It fires right up, idle's good. He could drive around if he wants to, but I'm gonna have to get him a 600 double pumper or a 650 to put on this thing. Because that 950, 750 probably be about perfect. The 950 and that 850 is just too big. As soon as you go wide open throttle with it, it just wets the plug, soaks them. So I will have to fix that. I'll get on the eBay and see if I can find a 650 somewhere. But it'll fire up and run and drive. It just needs a smaller carburetor on it. But that's a wrap for now. I will be back out here later and do a little bit more tweaking, but he can drive it, so that's cool.